What's up everyone, I'm Nikhil from GreedyTech and this is a complete review of Oppo A57. Just before I get started, it's very important to know that this is a phone sold in retail stores, so we can't compare it with phones like Redmi Note 4 sold exclusively online. Now these are some of the best features of this phone. None of the phones with similar build and design come with a dedicated SD card slot, and that's a huge advantage to Oppo A57 even when compared to phones like Redmi Note 4. Nowadays, a majority of the phones come with a fingerprint scanner, both online and offline, but A57 has a very good one. It is as fast as other flagships and insanely faster than Samsung J series phones. This is probably not a big thing for you, but you can use the phone even by wearing gloves. It might be a very important thing up north. I would say rear camera is okay, but front camera is definitely very good. It does justify the name and price in terms of cameras. With that out of the way, let's get started. By the way, this is my first Oppo phone and my initial impressions are pretty good. Or at least it's not horrible. Anyway, now let's get started with the design and build. On first looks, it looks a lot like an iPhone and a slightly smaller version of Oppo F1s. We have a metal design with metal back, plastic strips at top and bottom for antennas, a metal frame holding the phone together with chamfered edges. It looks a lot like a regular candy phone, but Oppo took a lot of steps to make it safe. For example, the display is far from the edges and it is protected by a 2.5D curved Corning Gorilla Glass 4. By the way, it's the same thing that you see on OnePlus 3 and 3T. Even the Corning Gorilla Glass is protected by a plastic strip running all around the phone. Unless the phone falls on its face, it won't break easily. As a nice touch, we get a pretty good quality screen protector pre-applied and a silicone case in the box. With all that pros out of the way, I still don't understand why Oppo went with a huge chin at the top and bottom. Phone could have been made much smaller for single-handed usage. Phone feels light at 145 grams and has a thickness of 7.65 mm. For my huge hands, it feels comfortable to hold and doesn't feel slippery at all. We have all the basic sensors including white color LED notification light, OTG support, FM radio, compass and gyroscope to watch VR videos. At the top, it's completely plain. On the left side, we have the volume buttons and on the right, we have the power button along with SIM card tray. All the buttons are made of metal and have a nice tactile feel to them. Even the SIM card tray is very well built, completely out of metal. We have 2 nano SIM slots along with a dedicated SD card slot. Phone comes with VoLTE and GeoWorks. I have tested a 64GB memory card and it too works without any issues. Call quality, signal reception are all good, but there is no option to make a video call from the stock dialer app. By the way, every time I insert a SIM card, phone restarts, which I think is a dumb thing to do. They should have simply toggled the aeroplane mode. Next, at the bottom we have the audio jack, a microphone hole, micro USB charging port, and a mono speaker. Unlike most devices, we have a speaker and audio jack at the bottom. In terms of loudness, I'll say speaker was okay, but I wish it was a little more louder. Audio experience via headset is average, nothing good or bad to talk about. It's the same as every other phone out there, but I noticed that it was not loud enough when there was too much noise in the background. This device is powered by a 2900 mAh battery. We get an old 5W power adapter. It took me 2 hours to charge the phone from 10 to 80% and it takes around 3 hours to charge completely from 0 to 100%. Battery life, as I've said, is pretty good. Even when I was playing games, I played Asphalt 8 for 15 minutes, completed 3 races, and it just took me 5% of the battery. On normal usage, I got a screen on time of 4 to 5 hours, and it can definitely last you a day. Now coming back to the front of the phone, we have a 5.2-inch HD IPS display with 282 pixels per inch. For a screen size of 5.2-inch, HD resolution is still pretty good. For normal usage, I didn't notice any faults with the display. It has vibrant colors, good brightness levels, with good sunlight legibility. On the front, we have the 16 megapixel camera with f2.0 aperture, and on the rear, we have a 13 megapixel Sony CMOS sensor with face detection autofocus and an LED flash. Front cameras are the USP of this phone. In fact, its tagline is unstoppable selfies, and camera performance is in fact pretty good. Focusing speeds are average, but capturing speeds are fast and the entire camera app felt very fast. For a camera-centric phone, I wish it had more modes to play with. In daylight, we get sharper images with good color reproduction. In low light, it does an okay job with sharp images. I expected it to perform much better. Selfies look really good because of the wide angle lens, and the beautify mode works its magic just as much as we need it. To put it in simple words, if you're a regular user, you will love the cameras, and if you're a tech enthusiast with an eye for quality, then you might not be very happy with the results, especially when you compare the images with other phones. Do check out my camera comparison with Lenovo P2 for more information on that. This phone sports a budget range processor called Snapdragon 435 and comes with the Adreno 505 GPU, 3GB RAM and 32GB internal storage. We get 1.5GB of free RAM and 22GB for your user apps and user data out of the box. These are the benchmark scores. By the way, this processor is a slightly upgraded version of Snapdragon 430, seen in phones like Redmi 3S, K6 Power and K6 Note. For the price, in comparison with other retail phones, it offers good level of performance with no heating issues. It does a good job with gaming too. The maximum temperature I have seen was 45 degrees and there was no lag while playing games. But the gaming experience wasn't satisfactory due to the HD resolution. Yes, there is no lag while playing games, but all the games felt cartoonish and were lacking a lot of details. That's the only disadvantage I have noticed, so if you play a lot of games, then definitely skip this phone, and if you're a normal user, performance is good enough. This phone runs a skinned version of Android called ColorOS 3.0 based on Android Marshmallow 6.0. As of now, there is no hope for Nougat update. User interface looks pretty good and a very good copy of iPhone. Unlike other Chinese phones, we have the normal notification toggles with notifications on the other side, just like in MIUI 7. The entire user experience was smooth, but at the same time, it felt as if I was using some old iPhone. Phone just doesn't feel responsive enough. Besides the UI, Oppo has provided us with a lot of gestures like double tap to wake, V to turn on the flash, and you can also use your fingerprint to open specific apps. We also have themes which do a decent job. I would say features are good, but still not awesome. We are missing important stuff like dual apps seen in other Chinese phones. You can check out my video on best features of Oppo A57 to know more about the software features. Finally, there is no memory management issue, but there are some bugs. Like when we open YouTube video from a link, then the app crashes. It happened with other apps too whenever I tried to open an app using a link. Hopefully it might be fixed with a software update. And that was the only issue I faced in terms of software. Obviously this phone can't stand a chance against other phones sold online like Redmi Note 4, Cool One, P2 in terms of performance, but it offers you some unique things like a dedicated SD card slot, better cameras, and a very premium looking device. When compared to current offline competitors like Vivo, Lenovo and the Samsung J series phones, it is definitely a very good choice. It has an MRP of 14,990 and it's sold online at 14,000 rupees, and I heard it's sold in retail stores for as low as 13,000 rupees. So considering the variable prices, I would definitely suggest this phone for anyone looking to buy a phone offline or in retail stores. But if I had to buy a phone in this price range, then I'll definitely look for something else like Redmi Note 4 or the Lenovo P2 depending upon my budget. With that said, if you're still watching this video, then you might be able to place an order online too. So if that's the case, you should consider phones like Redmi Note 4, Honor 6X, Moto G4 Plus or the upcoming G5 Plus. They offer better battery life, much more performance, and you can use them smoothly for much longer. So that's pretty much it for this video guys. Thanks for watching this video. If you like this video, hit that like button, and if you don't, hit that dislike button and let us know why. If you have any comments, complaints, compliments or want us to make any specific video, let us know by commenting below this video and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Stay tuned to our channel to see more cool videos on tech. I'm Nikhil from GreedyTech signing off. Have a nice day.